Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good morning. And it's a pleasure to meet all of you here in this meeting and share with you about the new open source home for building the architecture for the future. And my name is Mark, and I'm the observer of Linux Foundation and also the board chair of the Task Foundation. And I also support DevOps Foundation as a board member. I'm from Tencent. And which provide the product most of the people are using every day in China, that's WeChat. And I'm in charge of Tencent Open Source, the chairperson of Tencent Open Source Alliance, and also the general manager of the Tencent Cloud Open Source. So I join many open source communities and foundations, and I will show you a new open source foundation in the Linux Foundation. That is the Next Architecture Foundation. We also call Next Arch Foundation. Okay, let's show you the detail. So I'm focused on the cloud native microservices and big data and edge computing and open source governance. And recently, we are running a new project called Open Cloud OS. That's an operating system and like the CentOS and Fedora. After all, we worked our full passion to build an open source ecosystem, and we made great effort to accelerate the innovation in technologies and product with the open source way. And whether globally or in APAC, cloud-native technologies have achieved fast growth in recent years, and people don't even know they are using technologies based on it. It is similar to the Linux that is now present in many other platforms and devices such as the TVs and phones and refrigerators and even Mac lowers. People are often aware of all the open source technologies underlying. So right now we have 96% of organizations are either using Kubernetes, and 79% of the respondents are use certified Kubernetes hosted platforms. 39% of the respondents are using serverless technologies, and 90% of the communities users using cloud managed services. So with Kubernetes maturing to a mainstream technology, more organizations appear to be slowly moving up to the cloud native stack using Kubernetes APIs and interfaces. So also you can see containers continue to grow rapidly in APAC, Asia, and also in China. And 68% of the organizations are using containers in production, and Kubernetes is becoming everywhere. The use of the Kubernetes in production has increased to 82% to 72% last year. Public cloud is using widely, and the automation tools is also increasing, and 30% use the automated release cycles, and 73% running CI/CD pipelines in production. So, and also the observability tools are used widely also. 95% of the organizations are use monitoring tools, 94% using the logging, and 86% use the distributed tracing. Most of the cloud native technologies are open source technologies. So the open source innovation boosts the rapid growth of the cloud native industry. And we can see the graph as below. We have more than 30% growth rate in the cloud-native industry in recent years. The cloud-native open source ecosystem has continuously developed and improved. As for developing the cloud-native technology ecosystem has continued to expand and has essentially included the full life cycle of cloud-native technology. And open source innovation also diversified the technology in different industries. And in terms of applications, cloud-native technology is expanding from internet to more traditional industries such as the manufacturing and finance, education, and also the public sectors. And cloud-native technologies enable organizations to build and run scalable applications in new and dynamic environments such as the public and private and hybrid clouds. Typical cloud-native technologies include containers, service mesh, and the microservices, and immutable infrastructure, and also the declarative APIs. These technologies enable the construction of loosely coupled systems that are fault-tolerant, easy to manage, and easy to observe. And also combined with the automation, cloud-native technologies make it easy for engineers to manage frequent and critical changes in their system and in their platform. You can see container can make application isolated and portable, and the microservices technologies can build a complex and large-scale applications in a modular way. And the ops can make the R&D smoothly, and you can building, testing, and releasing software faster and more frequently and reliably. And these technologies can let our company and developing faster and using less money also. So, and taking the lower cost, and of course, we could have the pay-as-you-go model in the cloud. So you know there are a lot of open source foundations all over the world. We can, but we can list what we know most. They are also below in the slides. Many of the works talk open source foundations, and organizations have focused on cloud-native technology and have also incubated cutting-edge projects that are leading industry standards. You can see Linux Foundation is a very big open source organization, and it has a lot of foundations umbrella also, like CNCF, LF-Edge, and include the NextR Foundation. So it is based on Linux project that is the biggest open source project in the world, and the Linux Foundation built based on the operating system kernel Linux, and now it's branding bigger and bigger, including open source projects, open source the open source foundations and standards, and also best practice of the open source ecosystem. So CNCF is based on the Kubernetes, as I mentioned just now. It's based on the Kubernetes project and is leading the construction of cloud-native open source technology ecosystem. And Apache Foundation is based on the Apache and Hadoop project. They are using widely before and now has some cloud-native projects this year, like Pausa. That is a cloud-native distributed messaging queue open source project. And LF-Edge is focused on the edge computing and applications. What is the most important, that is the NextR Foundation we are talking today. It is established last year and under the Linux Foundation, and is focused on the heterogeneous architecture and multi-cloud scenarios. And NextR Foundation includes project incubation and industry solutions to solve the problems of the compatibility of heterogeneous scenarios, and also the use of the tools of the digital transformation. And in recent years, the word next generation has been used in different technological scenarios to describe innovation in architecture and also in data storage, and heterogeneous hardware, and many more areas. And additionally, the speed of the technological development is accelerating. According to the Gartner Hype Cycle, you can see new technology and concepts will mature and change almost every 3 years. It is no surprise that the technology stacks are constantly changing. With the widespread applications of cloud native and also big data, blockchain, and other technologies in various scenarios, enterprises' needs for governments to new technologies and becoming stronger. In addition, and they also need more industry solutions and integration solutions and hardware software integration architectures to solve the problems of scale and commercialization. And however, there's no mature ecosystem to deal with all these problems currently. So Nexar Foundation, Nexar Foundation was born to meet the needs of enterprises for new businesses and scenarios in the future. It wants to solve the difficulty of compatibility between the different frameworks and protocols and the threshold for using components in heterogeneous architecture. So I believe if you are the CEO or CTO of the company, you will find the gap between the technology and the business also. So let's talk about the vision and mission of Nexar Foundation. So Nexar Foundation will be a neutral home to build an open source ecosystem for the next architecture that is suitable for enterprises development and to promote technological innovation and business growth. And our mission is that Nexar Foundation is to develop a next generation microservices architecture for heterogeneous infrastructure design. So if you have the same problem we met as I shared before, and so you have the same vision and mission like Nexar Foundation, so welcome to join up, and we'll do our best to make it happen and also to build the next technology for the industry and also do some good for the society. So we will discuss the scope of solutions in technologies and industry in this foundation. And to solve these challenges, the Nexar Foundation and the next generation architecture has developed in almost all fields and scenarios. Moreover, and as many business process involved towards the intelligence and automations in digital transformation, the integration of different technologies is becoming the key to driving the next generation architecture. So are there any next generation architecture solutions, and what are the problems that need to solve when developing these solutions? As we know in telecommunications, with the large scale commercial use of the 5G, and the world has begun to explore the critical technologies of 6G. And also in the open source hardware, and chips, the development of the x86 ARM and also RISC-V has promoted the global chip ecosystem. However, the design and production process of the chips and is no longer than the software, and thus more also the tools and flows also are needed. And there is also a lot of challenges with the capabilities of the database, and we need to promote the continuous evolution of the database technologies. And at present, enterprises and organizations are still looking for the next generation of data storage technology to solve how to build a stable and also efficient data storage system that meets the needs of the future business development. So for different industries, and next up we'll focus on new application solutions and also the integrated solution for the industries. In terms of the organizational structure, Nexar Foundation, we have a TOC, that's Technical Oversight Committee, and end user community to manage overall planning and the development of the foundation. TOC is responsible for the technical guidance of the foundation's projects, and also will establish special interest groups that exist with a focus on some topics such as the CI/CD, cloud data and edge, and also containers and DevOps and IoT. And end user community includes members and end users from different industries. Companies are welcome to join Nexar Foundation by becoming members. And new members join the new Nexar Foundation is free of charge. The Nexar Foundation is now fully funded by the Linux Foundation and Task Foundation. Now we have over 60 companies and members together. You can visit nexar.io to get more information. And we have more information updated on the GitHub. You can search Nexar on GitHub to get the latest information. And we have all the meeting minutes in the GitHub also. And also the new projects. You can see we have more than 10 new projects in 6 months. And we built over 6 interested groups in half a year, and include the local and local technologies in cloud dev. And we explore the next DevOps area and have the cutting edge computing project and solution. And also microservices sake, build interface standards for microservices and so on. So we have thousands of active developers to contribute in our ecosystem projects. And these are our collaborators. They are active every week in our TOC meeting and collaborative meetings, and they are good at different next generation technologies, and also active to build the new open source projects. So thank you so much for listening. Have a nice day. Thank you.